Hey, that is how you make an entrance, team. So today we're watching another video and learning some new skills. Alright, new skills are great, it means you can do new things. So we're getting into a little bit more of the advanced stuff that you can do in Microsoft Word. So we're going to be looking at things like drop caps. And let me just read my script a little bit. What else are we going to do? Playing with graphics, learning how to crop. We're going to play a little bit with drawing using Microsoft Word. So, yeah, should be actually kind of fun. Let's see if I can make a mean little stick figure. Maybe riding a skateboard with a little hat. That'd be quite cool, eh? Yeah, cool. Yep, let's get started. Right, team. So, first what we're going to have a look at is we're going to make a drop cap. What is a drop cap? Well, it's one of these. It's where your first letter is huge, alright? You may have seen this in some old school books. But how do we do it? Well, it's quite easy. So, you'll be able to do it no matter what version of Microsoft Word that you're using. And it's bound to be in the Insert tab. And you just look for something that looks like drop cap. Now, you can just do the automatic drop. And you see that it makes the little square there. Or you can do in margin, and so the letter is actually in your margins. I'm not the biggest fan of that, so I always just go for your classic dropped cap. You can also do, if you want, have a look at the drop cap options. And this is where you can play with different fonts. So you could have the drop cap as a different font, and you could also make it smaller or bigger. That looks absolutely awful. That drop cap is way too big. But you get the idea. That's what a drop cap is, okay? Sometimes you're going to have to insert special characters, okay? And to do that, it's just insert symbol. These are special characters, okay? So, if you just have a look at all the symbols, there are absolutely plenty. You can do the trademark. You can do ticks. If you were writing something about playing cards, you could do, spades, hearts, diamonds, clubs. There are quite a few. You've got your Greek alphabet on here even. So alpha, omega, beta, epsilon, the rest of them. You've got the ampersand symbol, which also happens to be on your keyboard, but you can insert it this way as well. So let's go for this little dude here. And you just go insert. And you'll see, I'll enlarge it so you can see it. It's inserted into my document. So that's how you insert, symbols and special characters and things like that. We know about bullets, so I'm not going to go into bullet pointing, although you're going to have to do bullet pointing. You know that you can just play with the options up here to get different bullet points and different numbers. We've played that game before. We've also played with our margins, or our tabs, sorry. So you know how to set a center tab and a right tab. You know that you just have to double click up here on your ruler to bring up your tabs. So you're going to have to make a few different tabs, okay? So you're going to be making a left tab. Let's say that's at 1.5 centimeters. you're going to be making a center tab. Let's call that 6.75 centimeters. And you're going to be making a right tab. It keeps clicking on the wrong thing, sorry guys. A right tab at 14, like I'm just guessing numbers here guys. Okay? That's easy. And what I've just realized is you actually want to set them. So you don't just hit OK, you set it. So left tab 1.5 centimeters set, OK. Center tab 6.75 centimeters set, OK. Right tab set, OK. Cool. So that's your tabs. That's easy enough. And we know what those tabs are for. Alright guys, leader tabs are a little different, okay? They're not like normal tabs. So they're not really for moving your text quickly and easily and precisely. They're more for decorative things, okay? So, decorative things. They make your document look nice. Let's say nice, okay? You can use it to instantly put in an entire line over your document or dots, okay? And this is quite handy for things like memos. You know how you have your text up the top and then the line underneath? You can insert that line using a leader tab. And it just makes it really precise and professional, alright? So to put in a leader tab, we double click up here. We've got our stop position. So instead of saying this is where I want the tab to be, you say this is where I want the tab to stop. So I wouldn't put a leader tab on the same line as another tab because it's going to mess it up, alright? And we're going to say we want it to have the dots. We go set. Okay. Now if I hit tab, you see that I've inserted a whole bunch of dots here. And that's acting as a tab. So that's just another way of formatting your document so it looks pretty. Okay? There are other things that we're going to have a look at in the next set of exercises. Man, I'm on form today. And we all know how to insert a picture. We can either just drag and drop from our folder. So if I drag a picture from my folder and drop it in, that picture comes up. Or we could do it the proper way and go insert picture and then use our structure, our file tree, to find the picture that we want. Okay, so inserting a picture or importing it is nice and easy. What I usually do is I change the wrap text on a picture right away, and I usually put it into square. Alright, and so that means that it is square with the text, and it's going to make it easier to manipulate. From here, we've got a few things we can do. We can resize it, alright? So we don't want to resize from one of these top, bottom, left and right squares, because what that's going to do is it's going to warp our image and it's going to look pretty average, okay? When you're resizing, always resize from one of the corners, and that's going to keep the shape of your image the same, okay? It's going to change the size, but it's not going to stretch your picture. So if I were to stretch it up like that, it looks average, right? So every time you're resizing an image, drag from one of the corners, okay? It's going to make your life a lot easier. Sometimes we don't want everything that's in our picture, okay? So let's say we don't want these. I'll make the picture a bit bigger. Let's say we don't want this stuff here. We don't want these white bits of paper. Okay, we don't really like how they look. We just like this bit here. We like what's on the right hand side. To do that, we just go and we select the picture, go into Picture Tools, we hit Crop. And you'll see that we've got these little black lines, okay, around the picture. This is where we can crop from. So we left click and just drag, okay, and we'll see that now the left hand side of the picture is grey. That grey part is what's going to be cut from the picture, okay? Then we hit enter, and now we've just got that part of the picture that we want. So that's how you crop, guys, okay? Just picture format, crop, and crop out the parts that you don't want. Easy. Last but not least, we're going to have a play with our draw tools, okay? So you're going to have to use Microsoft Word to draw little pictures, right? And to do that, we just go Insert and just go Shapes. So you'll see that there's a whole bunch of preset shapes that you can use. So let's say we want a circle, and we're going to have a line, and we're going to thicken that line up. So I've gone into line width, change it to 4.25. We can see the line's a bit thicker. Copy and paste that line a few times. Okay, you click on the dots, you can change the direction and the shape of the line. And that's the same with any pictures as well, you can change how it looks. Throw that there. Pretty sure you all know what I'm drawing at the moment. Pop that there. Pop that there. Done. I've made a little stick figure person, and we can change the colour of our stick figure person. Let's say he is going to be beige. We can change the colour of our stick. That can also be beige. So with that we could make a little beige person. We could put eyes on him and stuff. So let's say I'm going to send his head to the back. Okay, so what that's done is it's pushed that shape to the back of the document. So that means that when we pop in his eyes will be in front. We'll go copy, paste. Okay? Whereas if our head was in the front, his eyes would be behind. See? So let's send that to the back again so he has eyes. Let's have a play with New Drawing Canvas. New Drawing Canvas looks like it is a specific square where you can just put your drawings on. I wouldn't worry about that too much. It seems easier to do it just the way I've done it, just drawing straight onto the document. What's cool is you can actually draw on your pictures as well. So I'm just going to try and bring this picture to the bottom. I'm doing this the hard way, guys, because that's how I live my life. Hashtag YOLO. Okay, so you can see that our circle is behind the picture, but our eyes are in front, and that's because I sent that circle to the back, okay? But let's say we really like one of these pictures, one of these photos that's on our picture, and we want to highlight that. Well, that's easy. If we want to draw some attention, we could use an arrow. And then we would just format our arrow so it sticks out a little bit more. So I want it to be thick as, and I want it to have dots. And then I want it to be red. Now I have a bright red arrow with dots that is quite thick. Or you could draw your little stick figure man on it. So I'm going to send this picture to the back using the method we've already learned, send backward, send to back. So now our guy is going to be in the picture. I'm going to make everything a little bit smaller so it looks like he's quite small in the picture. Pop that there. The beige doesn't really work that well, with the colour of the background. The head's okay because it's got that border, but his torso doesn't look all that great. So what I might do is just change that colour. And we'll change that to the blue. Now let's say we want to have him pointing at the picture. Now he's pointing. It looks like he's trying to reach it. So that's just a basic rundown of how you can use insert shapes to draw pictures. Now, most formal documents in the workplace won't have space for you to draw pictures like this, but sometimes, just sometimes, there is scope to do it. And in your upcoming documents, you are going to have that scope to just be a little creative, okay? So, show me your skills. Hopefully your stick figure man is better than mine. Mine looks quite average. So we'll just leave that video there. Have fun, team. Presenter out.